my flesh freezing in the dead of winter because Ford stranded me. I could barely feel my fingertips. I have to pee. Hi, I'm stranded because Ford are dimwits. I'm in my wife's Mach-E. I'm using my phone to start the car, and I went to the store real quick. Everything was going fine, but then when I came out to get back into my car, it wouldn't open. Then I took my phone back out of my pocket, and I manually unlocked the car from the app. I proceeded to get into the car and try to start it, and it said key not detected. Usually it detects your phone as the key, hence the purpose of the feature phone as a key. So it didn't work. So I tried a couple times to start it, set the alarm off. Embarrassing me. No pride. Police were sitting around watching me, alarms blaring. Finally, I was able to turn the alarm off. I still have the power to unlock and lock the car from the app. But now an interesting thing happened, which seems to defy logic. I am unable to start the car until I drive the car. I am getting a message saying, unable to start the car until you drive it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the smartest guy, but I think you need to start the car before you drive it. At least in this universe. I could be wrong. So I'm stranded here. The store just turned its lights out. It's getting dark, and I'm scared and alone. I'm frightened. I'm frightened because I'm sitting here in a car, and I would rather be playing video games right now, but I don't have any video games in this car. I'm frightened because now I have to stand here for 30 minutes, which in 2023 is like a small eternity, and my phone only has less than a 50% charge on it. Now, the tow truck company is coming because I called Ford Roadside Assistance, but the car's locked down and there's no way to get into neutral, which presents another problem, as it were. I'm not sure what as it were means, but it sounds cool. It presents a problem that this like $5,000 piece of metal is all locked down and I can't put it into neutral to get on a flatbed. It's an all-wheel drive car and there's no way to get it on the flatbed unless we drag this beast up there. So I think we have a creative solution here. I'm going to have them drive me home to get the key and then come all the way back here and start the car with the key. But then that begs the question, am I going to be able to start the car with the key without driving the car first? Thus, we come full circle back to the idiocy of Ford and Ford's app, whatever it's called. I forgot at this point. Ford Pass. Guess what, Ford? Your Ford is not passing this test. It's failing it miserably. So we're going to call it Ford Fail app from now on, because though I've done this countless times before, now I know I cannot use the phone as a key reliably, because who wants to get stuck in the middle of nowhere with the alarm blaring and there's nothing to do in the car because I can't start it until I drive it, as it were. So, so I'm just going to sit here and chill.
2,000 years later.
Man, do I miss the 70s and 80s when we had keys that you could stick into this thing called an ignition and do this thing called turn, and the engine would do this thing called turnover, and it would make a noise like and it would start, and there'd be a big cloud of exhaust. It would smell so good. It would smell so much better than what I'm smelling right now, which is my flesh freezing in the dead of winter because Ford stranded me. I could barely feel my fingertips. And another thing, while I'm getting this off my chest, so to speak, it's generally glitchy that another general and stupid glitch is that even though you have the key inside the car, the actual key, my wife is always locked out of the car until I come down and open it with my phone. So this strange glitch where in the morning, the key is sitting right in the middle of the car, and I don't know, maybe 4 times out of 10, you can't get in the car. It's locked, even though the key, as I said, is in the car. I have to come down with my phone and unlock the car. So there's a situation which happened this morning when we couldn't get into the car and I needed the app. And now I can't drive the car with the app, and I need the key. These are the things that are on my mind because Ford can't get their stuff together. I have to say stuff. This is a family-friendly channel. I love you guys. No, not you, Ford. The subscribers, the viewers of this video, who are sitting comfortably at home right now while I'm stranded out here in the middle of nowhere on a cold winter day and I can't start my car to put the heater on and I'm alone.
1 eternity later.
So I called Roadside Assistance, Ford's Roadside Assistance, and it's funny that they can't do anything about They can't do any remote starts. You'd think they'd be able to like do a remote start for me or a remote reset or whatever, but they only have the ability to tow you somewhere to an authorized dealer. Thankfully, they agreed to tow me to home without an out-of-pocket expense. I was told I might have to pay an out-of-pocket expense, at which point there would have been butts kicked. At which point the stuff, as it were, would have hit the fan. Because I've got a pet peeve about bad customer service. So when I tell you that I'm stranded in the cold winter with no heater, and you tell me that you can't help me because this stupid software glitch, and that I should call Ford customer service or call the dealer that's closed right now. I don't know any 24/7 dealers, do you guys? Yet you told me to call the dealer until I insisted that you tow me in this all-wheel drive 5,000-pound turd that I can't even get into neutral. So I'm hoping that when we get the key, it works. I want to thank you guys for being there for me right now, even though you're not actually here for me right now. But when you see this, hopefully I'll be home and warm and not freezing. So always remember the motto, always be kinder than necessary, and I will see you in the next one. If I ever get home, which, using Ford's logic, I probably won't. I'll probably have to live here in this parking lot. That was a miniature burp. Sorry, we do those kinds of things. Did I tell you I'm bored? Can you tell? This moment of despair has been brought to you by Ford. Farley, where you at? You relaxing? Your feet up by the fire? Wish I were, but I'm not. Because I'm stuck in your Mach-E. All right. I have to pee. I have to go tinkles. Okay, there goes the truck. We're back in business. It looks like the key worked. This little guy, you know, that they only give you one of nowadays because they're too cheap. Could really use another one. Okay, back to life. See ya.